Greetings and salutations, UrAvgRider here. Let's review the Triumph Bonneville. Before I get into my review, I want to preface this. I had a really hard time making this video. I've really wanted to review my motorcycle since the beginning of my channel, but I didn't want to mess that up. I'm finally ready to take a crack at it. As I watch a lot of YouTube myself, I was influenced by Doug DeMuro with his Doug score, and since the Triumph Bonneville is the motorcycle I've owned for the longest, I thought this would be the easiest motorcycle to compare all future motorcycles with. So that makes my 2014 Triumph Bonneville my median, and it will mostly receive a 5 out of 10 on every benchmark. If that spoiled the video for you, I'm so sorry, but I will try to make it exciting enough for you to continue watching. Unlike Doug's score of a daily and a weekend category, I'm going to change it around a little and score based on daily and long distance trip categories. Let's start with a few details about the bike. The Bonneville has an 865cc parallel twin engine putting out 67 horsepower and 50 foot-pounds of torque. It is not considered a cruiser, nor is it a high-revving, high-horsepower sport bike. Although back in the late 60s, this would have been considered a very sporty motorcycle. And while I personally believe any bike you go on adventures with is an adventure bike, the Bonneville is also not classified as an adventure touring bike. So what is it? In base configuration, it's considered a standard motorcycle. The foot controls are under your hips like a bicycle, and the handlebars would normally be higher, also like a bicycle, but I have changed the handlebars to be lower, which means I lean forward more than stock. While this sacrificed a bit in comfort, it's the look I wanted. I've made quite a few modifications to the motorcycle. I will cover the relevant mods in each category. Let's start with how the 2014 Triumph Bonneville T100 fits into daily categories. Daily will cover features, styling, quality, acceleration, and value. For reference, I purchased this motorcycle in September of 2014 and have since put on almost 16,000 kilometers. I have taken it on numerous long-distance trips with greater than 1,000-kilometer days, as well as just daily rides, whether that be to work or around the corner to simply run errands. Features. The dash is front and center. There's a large analog speedometer and tachometer. Within the speedo is the check engine light and low fuel light. There's also a bell icon for the optional alarm. In the tach is a light indicating if the high beam is activated, a neutral light, low oil pressure light, and a single light indicating if either turn signal is activated. No auto-canceling turn signals like a car or most Harley-Davidsons. One of the mods I installed is an oil pressure gauge. The motorcycle comes with adjustable brake and clutch levers. The rear suspension can be adjusted for preload, and while there is mounting points for a center stand, the bike only comes with a side stand. Because I am aware that some motorcycles have more features and some have less, I will be giving the 2014 Triumph Bonneville T100 a score of 5 out of 10 for features. Styling. Okay, this is obviously subjective, but the T100 is very aesthetically pleasing. I pretty much feel the same about any Triumph Modern Classic. Now I have added a lot of mods to make it look the way I want, from the rear fender eliminator, new brake light and turn signals, roll and sand seat, box side pouch and tank strap, built well bars and grips, and some bits and pieces from British Customs. This motorcycle is flat out gorgeous, but I'm willing to admit there are some better looking motorcycles on the market, so I will be giving this modified T100 a score of 8 out of 10 for styling. I would just simply give the stock bike a score of 7 out of 10. Quality. Because most of the motorcycles I will have for a short time, I will compare overall impression of fit and finish. Triumph makes a quality motorcycle. Everything is metal where you would expect it to be, and the wiring is all clean and out of the way. Both side panels happen to be plastic, but the paint quality looks great. If you've never had a gloss black motorcycle before, just be aware that it shows scratches and swirl marks very easily. Nothing really jumps out at me for being out of place. The chain guard is metal, not plastic like my Honda. Everything just feels solid. No creaks or groans when riding. The engine is smooth. I don't feel any vibration in the handlebars or in the seat at pretty much any speed. I will be giving the T100 a score of 7 out of 10 for quality. Acceleration. For this metric, I will do a speed test. I will accelerate from 50 kilometers per hour to 100 kilometers per hour in second gear and record the time. Don't worry, police officer, at no point in time during this test will I be speeding. 3.58 seconds for the Stage 1 Bonneville. Not bad at all, but I specifically want to score the Bonneville a 5 in this metric, as there are slower motorcycles as well as much faster motorcycles, of course. In the description of this video, I show how this metric is scored. While you're there, I would appreciate a like and subscribe. Value. To me, this category will summarize the previous 4, but also take into account the MSRP. This motorcycle was $9,200 US when it was released. I will happily give this category a score of 7 out of 10. Now let's see how this motorcycle fits into long distance trip categories. These will cover comfort, economy, security, accessories, and practicality. Comfort. Standard motorcycles are inherently comfortable to ride. Much like an adventure bike, you sit upright. The geometry of the front forks and the rear suspension mean your back isn't pounded at each bump. But with the limited features, including luggage options and the stock seat, I will give this bike a score of 5 out of 10. While many have traveled the world on a Bonneville, there are much more comfortable options out there. Economy. As the metric of this category is based on long distance traveling, I will score this based on fuel capacity and range. While it has a 16-liter tank, 15 liters will get me approximately 330 kilometers. This is more than adequate for between civilized locations, but maybe not enough when reaching further away from civilization. I will score economy a 5 out of 10. Security. This metric will be based on how secure the bike and factory luggage options are when traveling. As there is no built-in luggage and the only thing keeping someone from wheeling your motorcycle away is the fork lock, which is a separate key for this model, I will give this a category of 3 out of 10. Accessories. While this model has been replaced and a lot of the accessories are not compatible, this era Bonneville was and still is a popular bike, which has garnered a lot of companies making accessories for it. But as most don't travel with it, the travel-specific accessories are mostly soft luggage, which means a universal fit and will work on many other motorcycles. Therefore, I will give this bike a score of 5 in this category. Practicality. Much like the value category, this category will summarize the previous 4, but also add in the question, would I choose this motorcycle for my next long distance trip? Considering I have retired this bike for something more comfortable, not to mention that I recently just sold it, the answer is no. But I have taken this bike on many adventures and it has served me well. Traveling with this bike is possible, but it would be a choice. For that, I will give it a score of 5 out of 10 for practicality. Thanks to Doug for his inspiration, and thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.